My sword is sharp, my shield unbound, my pride will waver not. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. If I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. But war is cruel, my comrades die, and I go on alone. I will not stop to ask them why. I know I can't go home. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. If I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. My back is broke, my armor's rent, my blood is on the field. My sword is gone, my body's spent, I lie upon my shield. I faced my foe, they laid me low, but I go with a smile. The labyrinth, it calls to me.
happened on the other side.
Yeah.
And there's another one which is League. Did we mention a bit more League? And some shit happened on the other side of the field. So it's nice to get Navarre, and some shit happened over there. And because they're sort of like, they're a lens into what's going on in Navarre. And it's fun to see how, you know, the things that are super important to you mean nothing because they're having a spat over something, or having an argument, and you're like, dude, you ran with that? Didn't you realise that this was do you know what? No, never mind. You had fun. That's the important bit.
Yeah.
But it's like they're having a documentary, right? And the camera's there, and it's zoomed in on them, and they're, you know, talking about what's happening in their story. And occasionally, you'll see someone you know wander through the background and go, "Hey." And wander off.
So we're live, Justin.
But Keaton fucking did that in their fucking podcast, where they'd go, and then Keaton did this. I'm like, hey, I got to mention. They were like, yeah, we've got to get him on here. And I was like, yeah, I want to be on there, just so I can go, dude, stop sucking my cock.
Oh, so
Take it out of your mouth for a second.
So we're live.
Oh God.
I have a tendency to go.
That's our opening line, is it? Demonetized. Banned. Never spoken of again. That's fucking hysterical.
Oh, my name is floating.
Indeed. At the very least, when this is archived, bleep those two bits.
No. So I have a tendency to just go live while we're mid conversation, obviously, and we get that sort of gold. So,
you fucking brute, Steve.
I know.
You're talking about incompetence.
It was great. So thanks, Dan. You subscribed again. Thank you for that, mate. Wow. Oh, jeez.
Oh my!
So, what are we doing? I've forgotten.
I have no idea. We're not talking about fellatio. That was a complete misunderstanding.
Well, hopefully Dave's in chat. But yeah, we're. Oh, Benassi, thank you for following and thank you for the subscription as well, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you for coming along. So, where are we? So we've got tonight. We're going to have another chilled LARP chat with the wonderful Mr. Justin Talsma.
Hi everyone. Your resident fellatio expert is here to talk shit about LARP.
Oh my god,
Definitely
that was
not
brilliant.
the Shaft or the Grundle or all the other gubbins, you know.
Yeah, that was really good, mate. That was good.
It was
So,
amazing stuff.
Boo, Justin, boo.
What you want me to talk about fellatio?
We'd rather not, but
no, I'd rather not. We've already prioritised. Let's not make it worse.
So, Justin is very, very experienced LARPer. We've had a chat before on stream already, and we've already gone through loads of stuff. So, innocent minds are here. Drunken Corsair, piss off. Innocent my ass.
You owe me and Porridge, and who else was on it? It was you, me, Porridge, and shit.
Was it
Kit? It was Ian, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was national training. You owe us another one of those fighty chats.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And who's that?
We didn't even get to scathing criticism by that.
Yeah,
we were still on the preamble. We were still in foreplay when we were having that conversation.
We were, yeah. And Vilonic, thank you for following as well, mate. Really appreciate it. Dawn says very experienced, judging by the intro. So, I thought we'd have a nice chilled chat. We've been. It's going to be a long old year, and it's going to be even longer until we get to be in a field again.
Yes. The void just goes on, but don't worry, there will be LARPing again, kids.
Yes. Dan is
even if we're 2 meters apart, you can still use a pole arm. It's great.
I can still sneak into people's tents. It's fine.
Indeed.
Dan has said you just tickled the tip last time you were on.
just the tip.
Oh, Drunken Corsair could be innocent for pay. That's not what I've heard. Oh dear. So how are you finding the really, really long dark?
So, to start with, crushingly disappointing, because obviously I didn't get to hang out with my friends in the field, but
yeah.
So obviously not to deviate too much from the subject, but yours truly is an essential worker. So whereas other people, I can only imagine how hard it's been on people who have been stuck at home, who've been working from home, for whom this was going to be, the big social event of the year, to go out and have fun, where it's, their massive blowout, and the whole pandemic changed their routine so drastically, and then for LARP to be cancelled as well, that's just insult to injury. Yeah. Whereas for me, it was a case of, so I'm not going away for this long weekend to have an amazing time. Well, shit, nobody else is having an amazing time, but I'm still going out and socialising with people. And with socialising, I mean yelling at people I work with and rinsing and repeating that. So, to start with, when it all happened, when E1 got cancelled, it was awful, but at the same time, I was like, now I don't need to go to all that effort that I normally go to, because I don't know about you, and I don't know about the rest of the people out there watching this, but in the 6 weeks running up to Empire, and I go crazy before E1. Genuinely, I do. I go
Yes, you do.
absolutely insane. In fact, it's not even 6 weeks. Sometimes it's 3 months before. January rolls in, and yours truly starts brewing. Literally, my wife looks out the window, realizes that our car is gone, and half an hour later, I show up with 100 litres of apple juice, 50 kilos of sugar, and various other concoctions, and begin the brewing.
Yes.
And then after the brewing has begun, then the updating of the EMU kit begins. Then the posts begin. Then the updating of my kit begins. Then literally up until a week before, the house is just covered in random bits of fabric. And my wife is just considering divorcing me because of the sheer amount of LARP crap that is scattered about the place. I'm arguing online, going, what should I do to upgrade the camp? What should I do this? A huge amount of effort and a huge amount of, personal time and brain power and attention goes into prepping for E1. And then that pretty much carries on throughout the season. Not as heavily, but the run up to E1 is always mad. And I love it because the fires and motivation come on and I lose myself in it. It's great. And it just didn't happen this year. I've still got 50 litres of homemade cider twitching away in a barrel upstairs. That's literally been there for, the entirety of this pandemic. At some point, I'll go off and turn it into something useful. But yeah, E1 was a bit crushing, and E1 was upsetting. But by the time E2, but we had virtual songs and stories. We had Tentade. Was Tentade E1 or was Tentade E2?
Tentade was E1.
Yeah, we had Tentade. There were distractions, and there was the hope that E2 would happen. But by the time that E2 got pushed back, the writing was on the wall. And by that point, I'd sort of accepted my fate. But I suppose I'm not hitting anyone with a rubber weapon this year.
No, you're not fighting either.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was really, really hard. I mean, as someone who has been to Asda with you to help carry all this stuff, and I will never forget the sitting there just and helping you do a bit of the brewing and doing the flavouring and stuff like that, getting progressively more and more drunk, and then doing the... what was it we were going to call it? The Empire Minute, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Empire Minute.
The Empire Minute. Oh my god. So, the Empire Minute is something that let's explain what the Empire Minute is going to be, because it's hilarious. It's amazing.
It's an amazing concept, but we'll never do it. And if we do, we'll be banned, and it'll be great.
Oh, we are definitely going to get banned if we do it. So, yeah, I need to apologise for what's going on screen here. I've tried to adjust my chroma, but it doesn't seem to like it. So I look like I've got a bit of a tree flowing through me at the moment.
Ooh.
So I'm not too sure what's going on there. I'll have to adjust that. So the Empire Minute was, it's not on your end, mate. So you're all good. The Empire Minute was a sort of a semi-in-character thing.
Yep.
Of me, Justin, and Kit. The three of us were going to sit down and essentially talk rubbish.
Okay, let me explain the concept to all the horrifying people. So, you've all heard of Fox News, right? What if Fox News was Empire? What if Fox News was, free, filthy Navarre sat behind a green screen in, that typical American news studio, going, yeah, so the Empress has lost her shoes. Best start a crusade into the barons. Now let's move to our orc correspondent to the militia. We then shoot to a shot of an orc on the floor with several militiamen beating the fuck out of him, screaming, "Stop resisting! Stop resisting!" And then we go, "Aha! Filthy orc!" And then we carry on. And there's the idea was that there'd just be 3 minutes of this unspeakable horror. Horrifying memeage, and the worst of it was Matt P in a horse mask. Where it's just a case of where we'll go, yes, so this is happening in Empire. Matt P, what do you have to say on it? And then we just jump to one of us in a horse mask, tied to a chair, going, There we go. Of course, Matt P. What a wonderful point. Anyway, onwards and upwards.
Yeah,
And the
pretty much.
idea was just to have ridiculous 3-minute episodes of that after each event as just, the Fox News breakdown. That breakdown, but horrifying, with, the militia correspondents being beaten up,
Yeah.
Matt P in a horse mask with it inevitably getting to the point where Matt P escapes.
Yep.
It's so good.
It,
We can't ever do this. Mind.
Yeah,
We're never
there's-
hearing about this horrifying concept because we've been drinking.
yeah, it was really bad. It could have been a
Yeah,
lot
we
worse.
tried to shoot a pilot episode, didn't we? And it
Yeah,
was.
I've still got it.
I know you still got it. It was so bad, but it was so good. We were just having fun.
Yeah, it was great fun. It was really, really good fun. I'm giving up on my green screen because this thing doesn't want to. No.
We got it to work. Are you still a tree?
There we go. Right. So.
Filthy
Oh
Brian.
God.
Burn the
That's
Brian.
even worse.
Brian. You heard it here first, kid.
That's even worse. That one.
Briars are evil. 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 Well,
Right. The Ghost of the Tavern. So we're into the tavern now that I've got. Made for me by Abby MP.
you can hang out in the tavern, or you can hang out in the tavern.
So let's
I've got my
just.
own tavern.
There we go. Right. So we'll stick there. That seems to be a little bit better. So I'll leave that as is.
But yes, back to talking shit about LARP. We should talk shit about
Yeah.
LARP.
So, but yeah, I really want to do that Empire Minute though.
Oh yeah, of course.
That we will do that.
And it'll be awful because I just like the idea of just completely ripping the shit out of the Winds of War, and without naming names, what people are doing on the field.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a panorama-esque expose on Lorenzo, but it's totally not Lorenzo. It's just Lorenzo, but with a black strip across his eyes.
Yeah. It's someone called Porenzo.
Yes, Porenzo.
This is-
Porenzo involved in the terrible conspiracy. Did you know that Porenzo? Oh God, it'll be Tin Hat Larry, the Briar, hiding out in the swamps. The swamps. Sorry, not Tin Hat Ulfric, hiding out in the swamp.
Tin Hat.
Hiding out in the,
Yeah.
What is it? Semasuak? Yeah, no, not Semasuak. Calabasi, in the Calabasi swamp.
Calavesa. Yeah.
Going.
Helen has asked.
Lorenzo, he owns most of the waterworks. He does that because he's putting Vervain in the waterworks. He's putting Vervain in the water so he can control us all. I've seen it, and only my tinfoil helmet will defend me. Everything will be great. Virtues protect me. Don't use that Vervain. It gives you the shits. Can you imagine that?
Well, I can now. Oh, Dawn said, yeah, he's putting bite in the water.
So, yeah, bite him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bite Spartan. Yeah, he's putting bite in the water. That's why I only drink beer.
He's calling it nibble.
That was a question.
Helen has said, will Justin forever play Navari characters? Potentially multiple a weekend.
Short answer, yes, because that's where all my stuff is.
Yes.
And
Oh, dear.
I've said this so many times, so I'll happily go on the record and say this again. I just love the Navari brief. I love the selflessness and the righteousness of it all. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously, all the other nations have their own bit of right thing that they do because this is how it must be done and how it has always been done forever. But it's just, I just like Navarre. I love how disgustingly communist we are, and I love the sheer I love the self-sacrifice because, and I know we beat on the league like no tomorrow, but yeah, who doesn't? But in the league, if somebody wanders into the main area and goes, so this thing has happened, I need X amount of Y to stop this thing from happening, it would suck for the nation. How bad will it suck? Well, realistically, a 2% reduction, whatever. In the league, that'd be the cue for there to be some scheming, right? In Highguard, that'd be the cue for an inquisition. In Ozit, that'd be the cue for a cold ass. In Wintermark, that'd be a cue for lots of boasting. Boasting, and in the Glass Coast, they'd say, yeah, but you need to sign a contract, etc. In Navarre, they root round their pockets and go, there you go. It's done. We don't want a 2% sufferer moving on our nation. That would suck. And I love that about it. And I love that about it. I love the fact that the nation just comes together like that, and that it's so guileless because we're all there for the same reason, and that's to defeat Mother Law, to reclaim Terunial, obviously, in
Yeah.
the form of the Empire, in the form of the Empire, to rise again and reclaim our territories and right the ancient wrongs, and it's just great. I just love it. I loved being a fawn. I love being a guide. I love the fact that I'm part of this great traveling nation where it's not just socially acceptable, but it's the greatest honor is waking up one day and going, fuck it, I'm dedicating my life to this. I'm dedicating my life to fighting, and that is what I will do until I get bored of it, and then I'll dedicate myself to something else. I'm dedicating myself to helping people. I'm dedicating myself to healing people. I'm dedicating myself to leading people. I'm dedicating myself to magic. It's just great. Great, just that certainty which is lacking in the world, and it's right there in LARP. And I don't think you can find it in any other nation. As nice as Wintermark's costume is,
My costume hasn't changed.
Yes, as great as I might look in a Tamdal Mutz, as glorious as the idea of the horrifying backup character in Highguard, of me with my afro out, in a hair shirt, barefoot, covered in mud, screaming, the virtues will it at the top of my lungs. I'm talking to the virtues like they're actual people, and yelling, and I'm sure anyone who's heard me yell knows that you can hear me from the other side of the field. That killing a barbarian is a virtuous act. That killing a barbarian is a virtuous act.
I know who you should play as your next. What character concept you should use as your next character?
Go on.
Rabsi Nesbit. Have you ever seen that?
No. Oh, never.
Google it.
Okay, I'll Google it later.
He's a Scottish. He's from Glasgow. He's lives on benefits. He's played by Gregor Fisher, very funny comedian, and he's basically the string vest, drinking White Lightning, that sort of character, and he just talks.
So
he
what
just
you're
talks
saying
crap.
is it should just be a bum with a brewery. It's my next character. That completely divorced myself from healing, from anything, that I've gotten my sticky fingers into over the last few years and laugh and just sit there on the sidelines and belch aggressively at people.
We've got in chat the Soviet cat. Happy birthday, by the way. I am Scottish and I am from Glasgow. That's awesome. My it's cool. My grandfather's from the place where Rabsi Nesbit was based, Pollock, in Glasgow, and it's amazing. It's much better place now than it was, and but it's really it's about 30 years old. My dad used to watch it, and that's where I picked it up from. But as
DM me after this so that I've got an electronic look. Rather than forgetting it by tomorrow and going oh, I'm doing my job.
Oh, definitely, yeah, I will. I'm gonna change back because it seems to have sorted itself out. So there we go. So I'll go back to the forest again. No, it's still there, but I don't know what's causing it, so we'll sort that out at some point. So it's it's a great, and I would love to. I think that as a character concept would be hilarious to see.
It would be.
Quite loud and abrasive and stuff like that. But it's Highguard, and no one likes Highguard.
Oh, plenty of people like Highguard.
Even the people in Highguard don't like Highguard.
Highguard is great. The problem is Highguard is Highguard. Which means they're either they're either this hyper. So, obviously, this is my own personal perception of High Guard. High Guard seem to, for me, come in two flavors. There is the hyper effective High Guard. There is the High Guard who goes, "We're fucking doing this and it's going to be done." There is the High Guard that is, that wall that was the Shattered Tower, ploughing across the field, laying waste to everything. But there is just that monstrous wall of clank. There is the companions of the bear holding the holding the line, and then there's High Guard who just fuck shit up for shits and giggles. Who go, I'm sure there's a very pressing plot reason for why we would do this, but let's smash all the mirrors in Savos. I'm sure that there's a pressing plot reason for this, but wouldn't it piss everyone off if we dumped Lofir in the middle of fucking Rykos? Oh my god! They're like the worst fucking meme lords to themselves.
They are.
Yeah. You're literally sat there going, High Guard only does one of two things. They do things competently and efficiently, virtuously. Or you're just sat there and gone, which chucklefuck found the pen? Seriously. Seriously, you caused a schism, Yale? A schism because you lied about a past life vision? Really?
Yeah, I want one of those things.
Low fear to squat over there? Really?
Ben's just said, isn't High Guard the Space Marines?
Yeah, what do you mean? Everyone in the Empire has gotten extra selfish because one of you tried to get what I can only describe as a funny sinecure from a funny ministry from an Eternal, and it caused a cascade of rule questions, which you thought would be fun to ride on while screaming "Virtues will it" over it all. Like fucking hell, my god!
As Chris has just said, we don't talk about Yale.
We do talk about Yale. Yale was delightfully hilarious. I got to see her get executed.
I didn't. I wish I had done.
It was completely by accident, mind. I was literally just wandering up to High Guard to just see what was going on, and they were like, "Oh, we're executing Yale," and I got to watch it all. And Yale's followers started singing "Land Without Tears," that beautiful composition they had, and yours truly ruined it by angrily belting out the Empire's battle anthem over it. And I'm like, I'm having none of this heretical fucking bullshit. Problem is, it didn't go on very long because yours truly can never remember the second fucking verse. It was like that video out there of the football hooligans singing, trying to sing the national anthem and utterly fucking failing. Yeah. It was like, everyone was like, "Well, this is embarrassing. I'm back to the execution."
Yeah.
But it was a bittersweet moment, and to the player of Yale, oh my god! I don't have enough hats. Even if I had an infinite amount of hats, I could not tip them or take them off enough to your achievement. Genuinely, that was fantastic. As much as people may give you shit about that, that was ace. That was ace. Yeah. You changed the Empire by potentially lying about a false life vision, but who knows? We'll never know the truth.
No, because I want a past life vision. I want to have that, and I want to have been Emperor Nick. I want to have been Nikovar in a previous life.
I'm afraid somebody already claimed that. Has someone already claimed that?
I don't think they have.
No, they haven't, because they've summoned Nikovar back from the labyrinth. So that means that Nikovar hasn't been resurrected yet. Because they've done Whispers Through the Black Gate. And by all means, comment section. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Whispers Through the Black Gate only actually works if somebody is still in the labyrinth. When somebody's been reborn, you can't get them back except through a past life vision, because that just transcends.
Yeah, they summoned Nikovar when we summoned Kiartan back.
No. So when you guys summoned me, you summoned one of the orcs played by. You remember the guy who played Kestrel?
Yeah.
Yeah, they summoned his orc character back.
Oh right, okay.
and they were also trying to, and this was sort of a record because they were doing a triple whispers through the black gate, which nobody had ever done before. They were also trying to summon this ancient spirit called the Little Mother.
Oh yes, that was it.
Or the Something Mother. I think it was either the Little Mother Paragon or it was the Something Mother they were trying to summon. And it was really heavily plot related, and we're sort of sat there behind the scenes, and Dave Young's like, "Oh, excellent! So you guys are here," and he's listening, and literally he's on his radio and goes, "What the fuck is going on? Where's my MPT? Seriously, what? I'm gonna have to give people fucking mana back, aren't I?" Right, well, and he's like, "You two go out, make distractions, while I get to the bottom of this." And their NPC never appeared, so that bit of plot petered a bit, which was a shame.
Yeah, but we got to see you come running. Well, you didn't run out. You charged out at everyone, and it was great fun to watch.
I did. Well, as far as I was concerned, Keaton's only been in the labyrinth for about 5 minutes, and all I could think is, so how will my character react if suddenly the world ends and it goes dark, and then there's a flash of light. So literally, I'm from the last second I'm alive, because that's where it carries on. Because you can't. Because for anyone who's read on Whispers Blackgate, who's ever been involved in one, the point is the person you summon back literally remembers everything up until their death, but doesn't remember anything after. So there's no going, "Oh yeah, man, Labyrinth's totally real. I was there. Look, I've still got the dirt under my fingernails of running my hand along the wall. And yeah, all of Highguard stick to the left." It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Did you hear when we went on your wake, the four of us? Did you hear about our discussion about what was happening to you in the labyrinth at the moment?
No, and nobody told me anything about this.
You didn't hear this? We decided that the 2 feet have their own corridor in the labyrinth, and it's not a corridor. It's actually
a cul-de-sac.
It's a bar.
I like it.
And all of the 2 feet, they go through this bar.
Yep.
And that's where you are at the moment with all of our ancestors, and you are just there you're just there getting drunk with everybody, and then it's when they go, "Right, I've had enough. Time to go back out there again." It's like tagging someone else in.
Yep, exactly.
So you've gone in, you've tagged someone, and they've left. Yep. And then they've gone off. So you are now drunk in the labyrinth.
We're making that blasphemous canon. Because
it's really cool. It was sort of like it grew from, because like Kit said, "Oh, he's got a drink with him. He's outside. He hasn't even found the entrance yet. He's drunk outside." And they were like, "No. There's drink inside there. He's found that." And then sort of it'd be all embellished, and it grew and it grew, and it became there's a bar in the labyrinth, and it's run by the 2 feet, and you're drunk there, and it was amazing. We were all shedding tears at that point. It was so nice. It was such a good evening, man. It was a shame that you couldn't have come with us. But
I am glad that everyone else enjoyed my death more than I did.
Oh,
and don't get me wrong, but for me, dying was a gas. It really was.
It was good.
It was at some point, and I will write up. I will write up, because literally when I came home, I had in my head, I had an article that I would have happily written about death, and it's something about character death. And I died twice that event, and that just makes it funnier. Yeah, but it was literally just hitting the
Give me 2 seconds, Justin. I just realised something. I've got to admit I've made a really, really dumb mistake, and I've left the fucking oven on.
Dun, dun, dun. Right then, you're alone at last. I can't see what you're asking me. Or should I go on Twitch? Do you know what? I'll go on to Twitch. I'll answer your fool-ass question. Yeah. Oh, fuck that. Quickly, put your tits away. And other parts. No, not you. Them.
That was, I was sat here thinking, it's quite warm in here. And because the oven's just, it's like 6 feet away. And I was like,
but there's nothing
that's still on.
It's the oven on smell, is there? When you're like, something smells on fire.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the turn of the events.
Oh dear. Sorry, Helen. Sorry, hun. Oh well, never mind.
But
But
yeah, about death, about death. Literally getting my throat slit. I've heard lots of accounts of people's character, of people who've lost their hair,
yeah,
and the majority of them, they're rather sad and they're in a bit of shock because a large part of their life. Part of me was laughing my ass off because I'm like, I never need to go to a meeting again. Winner! Responsibility removed. Deferred. It is my second's problem, who is absolutely gonna fucking kill it, who is going to hit every fucking diversity figure because she's amazing, and her dying was the fucking worst part of my event. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Me dying, that was a gas. Me dying, that was a gas. It was a horrible fluke, especially consider it's one of those things that you look back on, right?
Yeah.
And I made an in-character decision to do what I did, which is what got me killed. And if I had to make it again in character, I totally would. Out of character, if I'd had the tiniest bit of foresight of the amount of drama that the person whose life I was trying to save was going to generate in their death, I wouldn't have fucking bothered.
No.
Giarton would still be alive wearing a general's hat or something equally ridiculous, going, I am God King of Navarre. I don't go on the field anymore because I have the gout. Well, oh yes, Tor Splitroot, I knew him. I left him to die. What a funny paragon. And it would have been great. Rather than, Giarton's dead, but hashtag Tor.
Yes. Yeah. That was an interesting one because he was able to come back and see everybody, wasn't he? In that, so
He was, and it was. I can't begrudge him because it was an amazing end to a story. But my body was not the only one on the small heap of corpses in the bar
no.
that his shadow completely eclipsed. For you guys, off on the Kiartan wake for Ifan Ashborn born dying for this. I'm pretty sure it was 5 or 6 other Navarre who died in that fight. Looking back on it, it wasn't a defeat, but we'd been on a winning streak up to that point with lack of casualties, and then suddenly that fight, our entire mid-leadership structure for fighting goes up in smoke. The entire the dreadful fucking banner, like genuinely, really. If you guys are watching, the dreadful banner, you guys were the best thing that never was, or that was for a short amount of time. Because I remember talking to people that event, or maybe the event before, but Navarre needed shock troops, and the dreadful banner went for it. They were like, we're going to be those fucking shock troops. We are going to form our banner, and we're going to be all about plowing into the enemy and crushing them. We're going to be all about being the soldiers of attrition that Navarre needs. And when I charged in, the dreadful banner piled in behind me, and our corpses were scattered about the place going, well, that idea didn't go very well, did it? Nope. Next time, let's not charge for spawning point. Yep, great idea. Great idea. High fives all round. And what one of the other lovely bits of my character's death was, and I don't know if she's watching this or if she's still out there, but there was this girl, woman. I can't remember what nation she was from. She was wearing a very nice leather breastplate. And she sort of picked herself up after the orcs had fucked off the Tor, and the lines was pushing people out of the woods, but everyone was having a great time because they, hit all of the objectives. and it's just fighting retreats at that point. And she's like, so I'm totally not dead. I've just been playing dead this whole time. And she looted our fucking corpses. Literally, we're piling her with fucking magic items and fizz wraps going, take this, take this. I know you can't bond it to you, but oh my fucking god, if you make it back to civilization, you're gonna be rich. And she went off into the woods, and I never saw her again. I've not seen her to this day, which is understandable, because, you know, there's over 2,000 people on the Empire field at the best of times. But I genuinely hope that she's still out there and that she made it back through the portal with all of that loot and is just making it rain on a daily basis, whatever nation she's in.
That's amazing. I had no idea that had happened.
Ooh.
No, that's awesome. Yeah,
it is. No,
yeah.
she ended up with my Oakenheart shield under her arm, my rune plate under her, my rune plate attached to her. I think she ended up with 5 different weapons.
Bloody hell.
Weapons. It was ace. Do you know what? Probably my proudest thing about dying when I did.
What?
But I didn't lose the nation's artifact weapon though. That's I need to hunt that down when we get back in the field. Because remember that bloody artifact weapon they bound to me.
Yeah.
But ruined your leaving the 2 feet moment. Because I'm sat there going, I'm so fucking proud!
Oh.
That was so fucking hilarious.
Bernassi has just cheered 300 bits. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Me leaving the 2... Well, I didn't leave the 2 feet. Me leaving the Navarre.
Yeah.
That was... Yeah, I was expecting something else, but because I was expecting the fight to kick off,
Yes.
and I came over this is going to be a laugh. This one, we're actually going to throw. We're going to throw down with everyone, and I'm going to get the crap kicked out of me. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get picked up. I'm going to get dumped in a bush. All of this, and then you were there holding a spear, going, "I'm so proud of you." Like, what?
And I'm just gripping this artifact, which I've sworn to keep safe, and all it's doing, because I'm just under this permanent aura where I'm just proud of people, and I just want to affirm their life decisions.
It was so funny.
And encourage them to be proud, and I'm just sat there going, I'd be kicking Marcus's ass right now. I would literally have found a blunt end of a pickaxe and be beating his carcass with it. And dragging a cheese grater across his tattoos.
It was brilliant.
Slapping my son in the face to get him away.
Thank you for cheering there, Ben. Thank you, mate. It was the funny thing was for me, it was the moment of where I walked over and everybody was just sort of there looking, going, well, we know what he's come to tell us. Keaton doesn't know what he's come to tell us.
Yeah.
And then I say it, and everyone's just there looking at you. Yeah. And then you're just like, well, I'm not going to lie. It's like,
literally, this is my expression.
You're doing what you need to do. You're following the dance, and and I'm really proud of you. And they're like, what? And everyone else's face was just sort of like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we don't know.
People, and then people are like, no, I'm not fucking touching that. Look what it's doing to you.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was so funny.
Grumpy old murder someone and leave their corpse out for everyone else as a warning. Uncle Keaton appears to have achieved some chill. Maybe we should leave him with the spear. Oh no.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was so funny. Chris has asked has mentioned something in chat which I'd completely forgotten about. He says, Steve, does a small child potentially have your first character as a past life vision?
Oh.
Yes, they do.
Now that's going to be interesting, isn't it? No, you don't.
Cernanos, my first character, has been reborn in that field.
Nice.
And I know it is a very, very small child. And
that's amazing.
But it is something that they do for people. They want someone to be reborn as. So if the game is still going on, so in like 14 years.
Oh, you know it will be.
in 14 years' time, that person, when they go for a past life vision quest, they're going to be, you are this Navarre general.
Mm.
And that'll be it. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's so cool. When I heard that one from a ref, it was just like, well, from one of the plot team, it was just like, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So I don't know who it is, and they won't tell me who, because that's fair. But yeah, so I don't know who, but yeah, Cernanos has passed through the labyrinth. It took 2 years.
But there is and we're talking, less than 1% chance.
Mm.
But at some point, let's say 10 years from now, when we're all, looking at our third knee replacements, but at the same time really enjoying the fact that the PD orcs are actually orcs due to their amazing advances in, genetic engineering that we've got going on. Yeah. Are you going to, be grabbed by PD plot team and told, hey, we need you to go in this tent, and then there's just going to be this 11-year-old girl sat there, still clutching her true Lao Fizrep while you have an argument?
Well, I tell her off. You're not me! You're not me!
Not quite that, but, reenacting a scene from your life. Hell, fuck, it'll probably be you sat down with Kit, looking, older and haggard, because he's got 2 kids now. Now, 4 now.
He's on his 7th.
Your other conspirators organising that bloody murder. It'll probably be that. It'll probably be the 3 or 4 people sat round the table and her going, that's me. Yeah, but you were a great general. Right up until you did, the thing. But I'm not sure how I feel about this, says the 11-year-old. Is that going to happen? Because I paid money to see that happen.
It'll be an interesting one, considering that didn't happen.
Of course not. Of course
not. I can't talk it because it's. I believe parts of it are still relevant plot, so I don't want to go into too much.
No one cares about the militia, Steve.
Oh yeah, that's true. But no, that never happened. Not with me,
They're
anyway.
Just brutalising minorities, and with minorities I mean Marans.
Oh, so brutalising minorities, or Urizen.
Well, that is totally just going to be the joke on the Empire Minute with the militia. Every time we're just going to have a different correspondent, and the militia are going to be brutalising them, screaming.
Essentially, all we need to do is go, well, this is what America are doing, so let's move this into the Empire, and so that's the militia, right? That's that's them over there. Oh my god!
At least one politician will say the words of, I'm going to make Semasuat great again. And there we have it! Full endorsement for that candidate!
Yeah. Oh. Make Semasuat great again. Oh my god. Yeah. Let's make
this candidate, though. They're coming for our swords!
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you don't want that Dornish guy taking over as Empress. Yeah, you won't be allowed to carry a weapon. You can't carry a weapon anymore.
Only flowers.
Yeah. Ignore green lung. It barely affects you. Don't let it take over your life.
That piss-soaked rag for Navarre wearing it. Fucking fake news, man. Oh
god. They want to take your scorpion stings away.
Oh god. It just writes itself, doesn't it? Awful shit that people will sit there and go, you didn't say that. You did. America is going to come and sue you, man.
I hope someone's clipping this as well, because this is brilliant.
Our 29 cents worth of ad revenue for slandering their entire country.
29 cents, I wish I had that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, make Astalat great again.
And now for our political value. Now with Senator X, make Astalat great again. He's got our votes. Oh god! And then literally have like the opponent going. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to invest in infrastructure in the Weirwater, and really, add another wing to Castle Forms, and maybe talk to the Baron's delegation. Boring! Dishonest! Never again!
Stug has just said, "I'm the most virtuous empress. All the others are fake news. I follow them bigly." Are we bad people?
Wasn't somebody threatening to effectively be Donald Trump on the field at some point? But I could have sworn that a few years ago,
Probably.
as it,
I did.
I
I ran a tabletop game for Chris, Helen, and Helen called Dungeon World. I think it was. It's a really simple.
This is this based off? Is this based off the Apocalypse engine?
Yes, yeah. So it's really, really simple. It's all story based and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I ran a game. I ran a one shot game, and it was based around this village that had just built a big wall. It had a religion that Chris was a preacher for. That was basically a pyramid scheme, and the mayor was heavily based on Donald Trump. So essentially, we had America, Scientology, and Donald Trump in one game. It was brilliant. It was so good. It was it was much fun.
Oh, it's amazing.
I thoroughly enjoyed running that. It was such a good laugh. It was such a good laugh. That.
Fellow GM, there's just something wonderful about the look of sheer horror in players' faces when you come out with something like that.
It was the look of realization, because the religion wasn't planned. It was as it went on, and like Chris was interacting with my NPC, and then all of a sudden it's sort of like, it's like a pyramid scheme. It's like this, and it's suddenly realization of, oh shit, it's Scientology, isn't it? And that, it was great. It was so much fun to do. The game itself was hilarious. I really enjoyed running it.
I need to grab something from the kitchen.
Yeah, no worries. Steve, what's the best D&D session you've played? I've only ever played one, and I was a half orc, half giant. And I ran into a battle with some dwarf house's front door. So every single time I ran, the door knocked. And I got killed by a goblin. So,
Gosh. What are you talking about? D&D?
George has just asked what's my best D&D session I've played, and I've only ever played one. So, if I talk about the games that I've played a lot of, that would be the World of Darkness. So one of my favourite was Werewolf, where I died almost immediately thanks to this man sat here, where I played a Ragabash, and we came out of the Umbra into a forest that was on fire, and a tree fell and everyone dodged, and I botched, and then I didn't soak and I botched, and I just died immediately.
Shit happens, man.
I know, it was great. It was a lot of fun. And that was when we all played in the shop in the room above. I keep on wanting to say the Drunken Fortress, but it wasn't.
No, it was. It was.
Oh, Hidden Fortress.
Yeah, it was Hidden Fortress. It was right next to Forbidden Planet, so people used to call it. So people would often call it the Forbidden Fortress, and it turned into a bit of a meme because it was like Crouching Nerd, Hidden Fortress.
Yes. Yeah, because that was where used to play Vampire as well above there too. So I mean, that was.
I remember Vampire over there.
Yeah, that was such a good laugh.
It was.
Such a good laugh though. But yeah, so tabletop wise, I'm more of a World of Darkness player than I am D&D.
No, World of Darkness is made of wind. I absolutely love it. If we're diverting into World of Darkness, so I've got a question for you about Watch, right? Because I've played exactly two kinds of games of WoD.
Yep.
One is the Epic Chronicle of Ages, which can probably best be described as the rogues gallery of who's who in WoD. Like, I played in a Chronicle of Ages where we met Sigmund Freud,
Right.
and it was fucking frightening.
Okay.
He was just a bog standard mortal, and he was just on us. Like, literally just on us, trying to psychoanalyze us, asking us leading questions. And by this point, most of us are about 50 years old, and we're like, do we kill him? No, that would be bad. Bad. Linda's on Path of Humanitas. She'd do things to Antioch. Is Antioch even still a thing? I don't know. I've been in torpor for the last century. What's wrong with you? Well, Sigmund Freud is ruining our fucking day, and it was amazing. But in exactly that same game, we met Hardestad, we met Malkev, we met Beckett. We literally met the fucking rogues gallery of who's who.
Yeah.
We got drunk on tainted blood with Vikos, and that's the one kind of WoD game I play. And the other kind of WoD game I've played in is basically, hey, wouldn't it be awesome if we were vampire superheroes? So here's my vampire. He's super edgy, and he's everything I want to be, and he's got potency 7, so I'm just going to maul everything. This is going to be great. Oh, my God. My God, I don't need to deal with social issues because I've got potency 7. Oh, no, I've been majesty. Potency 7, flick. So, the question that I'm sort of driving at this with is what's lacking from both of those types of WoD games that I've played is the core of WoD, and that's personal fucking horror.
Yeah.
Have you found that when people are running WoD for you that there's much personal horror in it, or does it just devolve into Superheroes Vampire Edition with now that I have let's see, Thaumaturgy 5, no one can stop me? Or does it turn into the rogues gallery? Or have you actually had experiences where people have sat there and gone, oh yes, Steve, this is your character's child. I'm afraid she's been crafted into a chair. How do you feel about that, having lost to humanity and now having a permanent hatred for the Zemis? Will you sleep tonight? Will you ever sleep? And that's this week's session. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Funnily enough,
Yeah.
I'm very rarely the player. I'm normally the GM, DM, ST, whatever you want to call it. I played a lot of play-by-post online.
Yeah.
And there was one site. It was ran by a guy called James Horton. If you Google the guy, he's now a published author in America, and he is doing very, very well. And he was a fantastic ST. He was all about the personal stuff, making you worry and things like that. So he would read everyone's background, and he took my Bruya, a guy called Jeremy Stevens, and he basically just went, oh, you've got this, you're quite young, and so you're still attached to people, and you've got this sort of, you've got the true love flaw, basically. And I thought, yeah, there we go. So I wrote that in and stuff like that, and I thought, yeah, this will be fine, because every time you have it, they normally go, yeah, your true love is over there, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, kill them, spend a willpower, whatever, and that's that gone, and I can move on from it. It's like, oh no, not in this one. Not in this one. My true love was now Kindred. And my true love was now Sabat. And my true love was then turning up to talk to me to get me to go across. So I got the prince going, so what's that all about? And I've got their archbishop going, so what are you going to do about that then? And they're just there going, well, I'm fucked. I'm all kinds of boned here, really, aren't I? So I had that, and that was amazing. So it was sort of like, that was literally like a month of play-by-post of me going, I don't know where I'm going here. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is pretty bad. And it basically either meant I was executed, or by the prince, or I was killed by the Sabbat,
Yep.
or something else, and then I just sort of like avoided it as much as I could to start off with until it was all rammed down my throat, and that was some really nice roleplay. It was great. The other sort, when I when I run games, is I like to do. I don't like to do. I like to do a bit of the Superman stuff, and I like to do a bit of the Rogues Gallery, but I mainly
Yep.
like to do the personal stuff. I
Okay.
like it when players go, "Oh, I've just killed 20 people and 20 members of the Sabbat. That pack's all gone and stuff like that. That's great." And stuff like that. And he's like, "Yeah, do you know who the pack priest was? That's this guy over here." And it's like,
Yep.
"Oh, okay, yeah, let's have a fight." And he beats them up. And it's like,
Yep.
"Okay, well, let's go off." We go, "Right, now you get to deal with the fallout of that. The prince has summoned
Yep.
you. And you're going to go off over there." And it's like saying, "Well, you've done this, you've done this." And then the prince is going to look into them. So the
Yep.
Harpies and the Seneschal have done an investigation into what you have done in your past life. I've got your background here. You've done some pretty bad shit in your life. And
Amazing.
they're then coming after you for that. So it was like, I had my favorite, my one of my proudest moments as an ST
Go on.
was where I had the players think they're doing some work for the prince, and they went
Yep.
off to a warehouse to just clear some people out. They got there, they cleared the people out, but then a Sabbat pack turned up. They cleared the Sabbat pack out as well,
Yep.
and then as they were leaving, the sheriff turned up to attack them, accused them of being Sabbat. They killed the sheriff. They went back to the prince and just said, "Oh, this has gone on," and the prince went, "Well, it's only us here. So you've taken out the problem of my business partner now and destroyed his warehouse. You've taken out the Sabbat pack as well, and I now get to put my child in as a sheriff. Thanks. Oh, by the way, this is my child and the new sheriff. You're blood hunted. Get out of my city."
Peak vampire.
I
That
was
is
like,
peak vampire.
yeah. It's like,
That
yeah,
is
boy.
literally the mountain where that's what I love about a good vampire game. You've literally summed it up. It's the closest I. So I've got I've got two anecdotes of running vampire
Yeah,
because I tried to run a lot of vampire, but I've played more vampire than I've run. Primarily because I've got good ideas, but I don't really have the staying power to
yeah,
roll through an entire campaign with it because people, stuff happens. Like, real life happens, players drift apart, etc.
yeah.
But what was I talking about? Oh, anecdotes. Anecdotes, yes. So one of my anecdotes for the first vampire game I ever ran, and it was ridiculous. Right. So have you ever seen a copy of the second edition book of VTM?
Yeah, I've got it over there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Fair enough. So in the background of that, it's it's Barry by Night. That's what it's called, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
Gary.
Barry by Night, and there's a whole thing with the prince sending off a letter and sending you out, and that sort of plot goes from there.
Yeah.
So I inherited that with a bunch of players because I was like, I made a truly ridiculous, the biggest stereotype Brujar and just fucked shit up. Got into fights, should genuinely have been blood hunted, and I sat down and I was like, right, okay, so I've been given control of this. I like Werewolf a lot, so this is what's happening. Beneath Barry, in a cave, underneath the factory, is a portal into the Umbra. Literally, you can step through it. It's just the veil is the gauntlet is so fucking thin there that
Yeah.
people could walk through it. And you walk out and you find yourself in this barren wasteland, like Gobi Desert. But it's all blue, but it's all dust. And you walk for a period of time. You've no idea how long. And you come to a collection of totem poles covered in werewolf glyphs. Yeah, this is one of the assembly points for the Wendigo tribe during the apocalypse. And the local anarchs have kidnapped a Tremere who's fucked around with it and figured out how to activate it. And about 2 months from now, they're going to do it to wipe out all the vampires in Barry so that they can, rule supreme here. Because obviously, when 30% of the fucking Wendigo tribe show up, ready for the apocalypse. Realize there's no apocalypse, but there's some leeches up there. Shit's gonna get real.
Yeah.
And the player group killed a bunch of NPCs, because of course they did. So they completely avoided that plot. And throughout it all, they're just falling from ridiculous situation to ridiculous situation, and I'm literally having to make this shit up. And my mate Adam is playing in this, and he's playing this Nosferatu. And he goes to New York, Chicago, where some shit is going on in the sewers. And the Nosferatu tell him to fuck off, because they've got their own shit to do. And there's no other Nosferatu in Gary. So he's completely abandoned by the clan. And only years afterwards, when somebody pointed out to me, did I realise that everything that happened to him, every time bad shit occurred to him, it changed his character. He changed from this slightly happy-go-lucky Nosferatu into this bitter, angry creature with humanity free, who gave no fucks for the world, because the world had shat on him over and over and over again. And years later, he sat down and we had a conversation about it, and I was like, holy shit, I ran a personal horror plot for you, and I didn't even fucking know that. I just thought I was being a dick. And it was great. And I can't for the life of me remember the other anecdote. Do you know, out of all the WOD games, do you know what I love running?
What?
Oh, yes, I do remember it. So, remember when Requiem came out?
Yeah.
So, I ran a Requiem game, which I was living in Swansea, and it was effectively Swansea by night. And essentially, all it was a Camarilla city, or whatever the Camarilla was called in Thingy, and it had Heavy Lancea Sanctum presence, and it had a couple of pamphlet waving Ordo Dracula. They'd driven out the Order of the Crow, and I'd just seen Underworld, so there was like this revolving triumvirate in the Order of the Crow, which they'd broken. And they'd broken it about 100 years ago, so the Order of the Crown had been driven back into the valleys to deal with the werewolves out there. Life was okay, and out of sheer boredom, the prince goes, everyone in the city gets right of childer, let's see what happens.
Okay.
And everyone in the city got right of childer, and the player characters were these childer, and they entered this world, and oh my god, everyone around them was just was not OP, but they were powerful. Like, they were at least one step above the characters. They pushed them around, and I absolutely drove the personal horror angle because of that one. Because people would sit down, afterwards with the NPC who, sent them out on this mad quest that resulted in a burnt-out bar, several bodies buried out of the sea, and a wolf chasing them for the rest of their lives. And he'd sit down and go, and now he's going to cast Majesty on you. Good luck, because he wants the information. And it was just great. It was just great sitting there and going, sack it, neonates, and the neonates going, burning willpower, running, climbing out windows, making up lies. Oh God, this is awful. Why are you doing this to us? Ah!
I never really played Requiem. I couldn't be bothered with it. I preferred the old WOD stuff, and it was good.
Everyone does. Everyone prefers it.
Yeah, I mean,
genuinely, I know you and I probably, we may be in agreement with this, but of all the WOD games, Werewolf the Apocalypse still has to be my favourite, hands down. Because
I think I would have always said Vampire, but recently, probably the last couple of years, I've been rereading the Werewolf books again, and I'm just like, I fucking love Werewolf. It's become my favourite game.
I did it as well.
I love the lore of them both. I mean, they're all interconnected, and it's great. But I think, Werewolf for me is a really good game.
Because your character, Do you know what I liked about Werewolf? It's the fact that your basic character can pop into Krylos and fuck up just about any other basic character in the world of Dark.
Yeah.
Now, provided you've got enough rage, because of how broken that mechanic was in third edition, you can probably one-shot an Elder with, let's say you've got a rage of 5, with 5 attacks in a single round, all doing ag, and the Elder Vampire is dead before he even pops his celerity and whatever else he fucking has. Winner.
Yeah.
But despite all this power, you've lost. You've lost before you've even started.
Yeah.
Your ancestors decided that what was more important than saving the planet was murdering each other. Was murdering the changing breed. Was just fighting each other over basic bullshit. Was wiping out the Croatan. Was having the whole fucking Wild West. Was letting Gaia bleed to bloody death while the Wyrm laughs and the Weaver weeps. And now the apocalypse is nigh, and you're sat there with all this power, but it means nothing. And I loved that.
Yeah, I got asked by the World of Darkness to do a review of their new visual novel of the Werewolf the Apocalypse, and I was expecting.
I saw the preview to it. I really want to play that visual novel.
I've played it. I've got the full game now.
Oh.
And it's released.
I can't wait to see your review, man.
It's released in 6 days, and I played it, and I worked my way through.
Yep.
And I was there as I was going through. I was just sort of like, oh, I wonder what, because basically it's very open. There are 5 endings to this game. The word count was something like 200,000. There is so much in this game that if you replay it and you pick a different decision, because I played the demo and then I played the full game.
Yep.
I made a certain decision in the demo, and I thought, nope, I think I made the wrong decision for my character in that one, because you're always the same person, you're always Maya, and you always go off in all these different directions. And I made a different decision when I played the full game, and nothing was the same after that. I was thinking, I thought that would. Oh right, okay, I'm not going that way. Okay, so the person who initially came with me on a walk now despises me and thinks I'm a twat. So right, okay, so this is great then. Okay, so I'm playing this game instead now, and and I'm not even just saying that. I mean, I'm not getting paid for it or anything like that.
Doesn't matter, dude.
It's amazing.
You got to play a game before anyone else did.
It's amazing. The game is incredible. It's so much fun, and I got all the way through, and I got to the end. So you don't get a choice in your auspice or your tribe. Well, your tribe you do a little bit, but you don't get a choice in a lot of stuff. It just says, this is what you've done.
I'm not going to lie, they'd have to do that to have a story, because otherwise, of course you play Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Like in Bloodlines, there were so many threads, which is why it took Troika so long to do it, and why the game was fundamentally broken when it
was incredible. One of my favourite bits in it is where it doesn't have like they do in the core rulebooks, where it says, this tribe, this is why this tribe's great, this is why this tribe's great. It basically goes, this is why people hate this tribe, this is why people hate that tribe, this tribe, this is why people hate this tribe.
Love it.
And it's like, oh yeah, that's a good point, that one. And there's little things that go on in it, and when some stuff gets when stuff gets pointed out, you'll look at it and you go, shit, why didn't I realise that? And it's like, I should have known that. Bollocks. And I've gone through it all, and I've got to the end of it. I played it for 6 hours, and I've got to the end, and I've completed it once. I use the term completed it very, very loosely.
You've had a blame.
I got to the end of it, and I remember saying to Helen, I sent her a message going, well, I'm a blubbery mess. Because I was just there, so like, oh, okay. Oh, shit, I'm going to reload it and redo that bit. And do you know what the thing is? You can't.
Ah,
can't.
amazing!
There is no save and reload. There's none of it. You get into it.
I love it!
You get into it. You're playing you through, and you go, "I need to come off." So you just quit out.
When this game comes out in 6 days, I'm buying that shit, man.
It is 13 quid, 14 quid.
What even is that in the grand scheme of things?
It's
It's an hour and a half of my life. Sold.
it's yeah. So no save scumming. It's amazing. It's so good, and I am going to be playing through it. I've had to give myself a day off of it.
Okay.
I've recorded a playthrough of me playing it through as well, so I'm reading it all out and doing that, and it's just sort of
Oh,
like
dude. Well, when are you releasing it? When do we get to watch it?
the 13th. I'm not. I've got until the 13th at 5 p.m. and then it's all going to come out, and I'm
Dude,
just like. I mean, what's your favourite tribe?
Now, I'm going to be sat there and I'm going to watch it. Sorry, what was your question?
What's your favourite tribe? I mean, if anyone in chat's played Werewolf as well, what's your favourite tribe?
Oh, okay, so I'm going to get flack for this.
Go for it.
Get Fenris.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's all we got time for today. Fucking hell, get a Fenris. Oh.
I know, I'm so fucking basic. I'm sorry, I love the whole Viking motif. I love the whole Viking motif. I love the whole. Holy shit! Are you all white supremacists? You fucking are. Oh no! I love playing a black. There was a game where John won't be watching this, where John played a Jamaican Get a Fenris, and I have never had so much fun running for someone because the rest of the tribe fucking despised him.
Yeah.
It was unreal. It was one of it, and he'd totally done it on purpose because he clearly read it and gone Nordic stock. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's so good. So what about your top three then? Let's go top three.
Okay, right. So top three. So for top three, it's Get a Fenris because I'm a tool. Then it's Wendigo because I love. Again, I continue to be a tool. The Wendigo are such an awful fucking stereotype.
Yes, they are.
They really, absolutely are. They are the most awful stereotype. But obviously, as some people may be putting two and two together on, I do love a lost cause in a LARP or in RP. I do enjoy it. And the Wendigo are the worst, angriest lost cause ever. Because they lost that war, hands down. And their kinfolk are stuck on shitty reservations.
Yep.
Nations. The worm comers are fucking wandering around the place, shitting in the well and murdering, doing each other because they're bored, and all they have is rage. And I love that.
Yeah, Paladin21 has said there's a lot to love about a lost cause.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And then finally, it's the Red Talons, who I very rarely get to play because they're so. For anyone who doesn't know anything about Werewolf, in Werewolf, as part of your character, you get to play one of three races, if you will, or one of three breeds. You get to be. You either play hominid, which is a human. You were born a human, you've always been a human, and then suddenly something horrible and traumatic happened, and now you're a bloody werewolf, and the world is ending around you, and you've got all this power, and it means nothing. You're a metis. Two werewolves
Got it on.
did the thing that they really shouldn't, but literally in their core tenets is like rule 2 or 3: do not fuck another werewolf.
Yeah.
But they did. And you're the result. And it ain't pretty.
No.
You were born into this world, so you've got an advantage over everyone else, but dude, no. Just no.
No.
Everyone hates you. This is playing the game on hard mode. Go home. Don't do. Okay, sorry. Not hard mode. This is playing the game in medium mode. Go home. Everyone hates you. It's not happening. And then finally, you have lupus. You were born a bloody wolf, until one day you realised you could turn into a human, and it was deeply disappointing. And now we're having to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
You've entered into this world where everyone is murdering each other, where everyone has all this power and is not doing the right thing with it, and because you've got fucking wolf brain compared to everyone else who's drinking cider in the corner and throwing rocks at the inbreds, staring at the rest of the pack going, this is awful. And all of the red talons are wolves. And their modus operandi is humans bad.
Yes.
But they taste really good with barbecue sauce.
Oh yes. So mine would be number 3 would be the Black Furies.
Mm-hmm.
I've played a Metis Black Fury before. Great fun. Really good fun.
How? Okay, obviously your father would have had to have been out of clan, but holy shit, a Metis Black Fury.
Metis Black Fury, that went down really well. That was really cool.
Brutal.
Great fun to play. My second favourite, Bone Gnawers, because now that's a lost cause. That's a lost cause.
They really are.
The bottom rung. The Metis are above the Bone Gnawers. So love to play a bit of a Bone Gnawer. My all-time favourite though, Red Talon. Without a shadow of a doubt, I love them. I
totally get why.
Yeah,
because
they're great.
They're not just great, but what they achieve, right? And this is half the joy of God. This has turned into Werewolf the Apocalypse fan club, hasn't it?
Pretty much.
Well, which is like, but in Werewolf the Apocalypse, you are a member of this mad secret world that is ending, that is going completely to fuck. And I know I've said this about 7 times so far. You've got all this power, but you can't fix it.
Yeah.
Everything that you do just seems to make it worse. And in this world, the Red Talons are just that taste of the alien. They really are. They're that taste of the. Okay, guys, before you even touch us, and I've said this to my player. I've said, look, if this is your first game of Werewolf, go hominid and pick the clan you like the look of. Just stick to.
Yeah,
if this is maybe your second or third game of Werewolf, maybe play Metis, because you're going to have an entirely different experience. It's going to be cool.
Oh yeah.
You've been playing Werewolf for the last 2 years. Okay, you can play Lupus, and I'm going to allow you because you have a completely different mindset to everyone. Everyone. Oh, how do I put this?
Well, I think I can give you the game I played in where I was a Red Talon. It was an online game. It was the play-by-post thing, and they do like special missions and stuff like that where people are specifically picked for it.
Okay.
Our job was purely to take out like a CEO of of some business.
Yep.
He was going to have all of these horrible Fomori around him and all of this sort of stuff. So it was in the evening and all of that. The pack that I was with, so there was 7 of us. I was the only Red Talon. There was like 3 Glasswalkers, a Bone Gnawer, a couple of Get and stuff like that. So there was a load of them, and they're all homid and stuff like that. And I'm just sat there on the opposite side of the road, feeling grubby and dirty as a Lupus. I just sat there watching the building as they're all talking and saying, right, we need to go in, just keep as many people alive as we can. Let's get to the top and we'll sort it all out. So we're going to sneak in around that way. And they look at me and go, if people come running out the front and any of them are Fomori, kill them. And I'm like, okay. That's it, one word, just okay. They said, don't do anything else. It's like, okay. They all go around the back and the sides, and they all sneak up, and they start like climbing the fire escapes, and they're getting all up in like the window washers lift things, and they're getting all the way up to the top. Yeah. I'm like, okay, is anyone around? It's like, no, okay, Krinos. Straight into and I walk in the front door.
Amazing!
Everyone goes mental and starts running. They're coming towards me, and I'm killing everyone around me. I'm hacking everyone to pieces.
Yes!
They all get into a lift. The lift is closing. It's like, what am I doing? So I'm prizing the lift open. It's like, okay, what are you doing now? It's like, I'm pulling the lift back down. The lift breaks and drops. They fall to the basement. Everyone is dead. It's like, okay, what am I doing? There's a ladder there. Right, I'll climb that then. So I start climbing up as best as I can, and I get halfway up, and then it's like I start coming across Fomore, and I'm just beating the shit out of everything that moved. They came across me because the CEO had found them and escaped and was running down the fire escape. He was running down the stairs and he came across me, and they were screaming down, "We need him alive." This guy's human.
No!
I'm there. This was a rite of passage for us as well.
Of course.
As Krenos, my hands go through his stomach into the wall, and I'm walking back up, scraping the wall with him attached. My deed name was Claw the Wall after that. And that was it. And they were just like, "Oh, you killed him, it's all right." And they said, "How should we just like, let's get out of here. We need to get out of here quickly." And I was like, "Yeah, let's leave by the outside." And that stuff like that. It had been seen by everyone. It was all over the newspapers. I got into a lot of trouble for it in character, but I did not give a shit. My tribe supported me 100%.
That is exactly it. In fact, that's more perfect than anything I could describe for Lucas. It's just the mindset of the human is sat there going, "How is this going to?" The hobbit is sat there going, "How is this going to affect on the human world?" Which I've interacted with out of character and in character. The Metis is like, "Don't really know much about the human world, but how is this going to affect the werewolf world?"
Yeah.
Whereas the lupus is like, "How's this going to affect the wolf world?"
Yeah.
It ain't. Everyone dead.
Yeah. My
Excuse me,
red talon
well, I'll be back.
was of the opinion at one point someone basically betrayed his den. So this red talon's den in the woods was wiped out. So all the wolf cubs and stuff like that were wiped out, and it was a Shadow Lord's decision to do it. So this Shadow Lord was married obviously to a kinfolk and stuff like that. The kinfolk was very, very fit and liked to go out running a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That kinfolk didn't come home one evening, and my red talon wasn't hungry anymore.
Yeah,
just ate her. That was it. It was so much fun. It was so much fun to do. Right, we've been going for an hour and a half now, so I'm gonna have to draw it to a close there. I'm afraid. I get the feeling we can
talk about LARP before we go on.
Well, I've got half an hour until my little one has to go to bed, so I have to make sure that she's all sorted, and she needs to go and have a shower. So
totally get it. I will probably end up playing RimWorld some more.
You shock me.
I know I don't. I don't mean to plug, but I'm currently in a RimWorld playthrough, and I've done the dumb thing where I'm writing.
Good. I have enjoyed seeing your updates.
I know, and I'm gonna put more out, but literally I've got 11 documents worth of it now.
Brilliant.
And what I've put online is like 1.5 worth of it.
See, all this talk has made me want to do now is run a werewolf game on stream and get people involved and stuff like that. So I think I might have to look into doing that.
Sign me up.
Done.
Hell, I would gladly run a werewolf game. Did you ever play in my Feathered Blade campaign?
No.
It's one that you never did. Okay.
No.
It's a sandbox that me and my ex-girlfriend made.
Right.
Because I was like, Anna, you need to run a game of werewolf. You've been playing the shit out of me. She played, and it was always the same character. She played Freya, Wyrm Takes Last. And Freya, Wyrm Takes Last was just fucking awesome. Just the biggest badass. But she had arcs and arcs and arcs. And I was like, look, you clearly know what you're doing. Run a game. So me and her sat down and we built this sandbox that if we ever end up playing it, I obviously won't spoil it too heavily, but the game starts in a car driving towards a city. You've been sent there by your elders because you're a freshly minted, gone through your life pattern, and something happened in this city a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Something happened in this city, and and the elders don't know what. So you ought to go to this city, you ought to set up camp, you ought to claim the cairn, which they're pretty sure is there, but isn't there anymore. And there's mysteries, and there's fun. There's maybe there's 5 werewolves left in the city, and they're up to all kinds of shenanigans, trying to get shit together, and it's a good giggle. If you ever talk to Kit about it, ask him about the bridge.
I will do.
Because there's a flyover that is just accident. There's a flyover freeway which is just accident central, and there's a spirit bound to it. It's fucking amazing.
I will
Anyway,
do. I will
that's
do.
about that. I would love to run that sandbox. For people.
Yeah, and I'd love to run a game as well and get people, because Werewolf is a very, very fun game to play.
Yeah, I will happily play in that or run a game Werewolf.
Excellent. So we'll call it there. So thanks for coming on, mate. I really, really appreciate it, and I get the I have another idea for another stream that I want to get you involved in as well, which is like which is mainly a musical one.
Lords of Palacio, by any chance?
Probably. Probably. So, which is mainly a musical one. So we'll talk about we'll talk about songs and music, and then it'll be we'll have singing sprinkled in throughout, so you can talk about songs.
Sign me the fuck up.
So you'll sing about a song, you sing the song, and then talk about another song, and then you sing the song, and then go on like that. So Alex has just turned up saying late to the party, probably missed all of it, missed it all. Yeah, sorry Alex, but it's going to go on to all go on to YouTube anyway. So, but
demonetized.
Yeah. That's fine. So we'll get that sorted. We'll get it all sorted, and I think on Friday we're all playing. I'm doing an Among Us stream. So
all right. I do enjoy Among Us, but I'm not sure that I can commit. What time are you playing on Friday?
I'll be at 7. So I think we'll get So I haven't put it out yet. So I'm sure it's going to be first come, first serve. So if you're about, let us know. Yeah,
I will happily show up and play tic-tac-toe and say, "You're looking a bit sus, son."
You get it a lot. I get it a lot. So
no, it's just I love how it's just the meme of the moment. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
Flash Gits did something on it.
Yeah.
Flash Gits, for crying out loud.
You look a bit sus, man.
Have you seen Flash Gits do Among Us yet?
No, I'll have to look at that.
Oh, dude. Well, when you're done with this, put your thoughts down. Google it. It's silly.
I will do. So, everyone in chat, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this huge tangent that we went on for Werewolf and Vampire, as Stugger said. All aboard the tangent train, the never-ending stream. Not complaining.
Choo-choo!
Pretty much.
Otherwise, we'd have just been having long, salty discussions about LARP fighting.
Yes.
Tune in next time for long, salty discussions about LARP
fighting. That one will happen as well. So thanks for everyone for coming along. Thank you for those who subscribed. Thanks for those who've given bits. Thanks for those who followed. It's amazing.
I subscribed.
It's really, really good, and it keeps everything going. So there'll probably be chat going on in Discord, and we'll be back on Friday for the next one, and we'll see you all soon. Everyone take care. Much love. See you all soon.